Hello. Before I start, I want to apologise for the screenshots I'm using here. I'm recording the screen as I'm speaking, and these articles are from the Daily Mail. Unfortunately, the Daily Mail has a particularly difficult website, and there are so many pop-ups and adverts and video distractions that I've had to go into reader mode, which means you're not getting the graphics of a newspaper. I'm sorry about that, but it's just awful trying to screen record the Daily Mail website as it's set up now. So I was caught by this because a couple of days ago I made a video about the death of a sausage tycoon who'd been on holiday with three friends in India and had mysteriously fallen out of a window to his death. And that was a day or 2 days after one of his other companions mysteriously died of what appears to be a heart attack. I think it's a bit difficult to find out anything in this sort of a situation, but the fact is, 2 deaths. Now, I probably am going to get a little bit sarcastic about all of this. I'm not sarcastic about deaths. Each one of these deaths is a tragedy. I'm sorry lives end prematurely. I always am. There is no such thing as an irredeemable, well, there are very few completely irredeemable human beings, and all of these people have families. And you have to remember that. However evil and vicious these guys might appear to us, or not, they have families who probably will be mourning them. And so it's always a double-edged sword when you're being jocular about somebody's death. However, I'm not jocular about the deaths so much as the number of them piling up one after the other among comparatively young people. And we have to, it's just something that catches your eye, isn't it? So before I carry on with another couple of mysterious deaths, this time in Russia itself, I'll tell you I'm granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I let you know when I've uploaded a new video, which is more than YouTube does in many cases. I let you know on @granniopteryx, that's me, on Twitter, Gab and Parler. You can help my channel a great deal by liking this video, also by sharing it and by subscribing. Remember, if you're watching me on YouTube and you think you're subscribed, just check that out because, again, subscriptions seem to drop rather randomly from YouTube, according to how my subscribers on YouTube are complaining all the time. Right, also you can help me financially, buy me a coffee or one of the other links in the description. That's Subscribestar and PayPal. All right, now we've got this headline here. Top former Russian general dies suddenly the day after Putin cancelled trip to his factory. So there's this, well, yeah, let's just carry on. I'm sure you can get that yourself. A former commander of Russian ground forces with close ties to Ukraine. Now, that means he wasn't in Ukraine, and I don't know exactly what this close ties means. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt. However, he was a former commander of Russian ground forces and he died suddenly the day after Vladimir Putin cancelled a trip to the tank enterprise where he worked as an international sales ambassador. Can you imagine a job like that, trying to sell Russian tanks to different countries? Can you imagine all those people? I mean, this guy has definitely would have had a job on his hands when all the people who were watching the videos of the invasion of Ukraine are seeing all these tanks just blowing up with the turrets just popping up into the air and everybody inside them rather flash fried, I'd say. So he's working as an international sales ambassador. I'd say his job had more or less come to a halt by now, in more ways than one. Alexei Maslov, 69, passed away on Christmas Day in a Moscow military hospital, the Ural Vagon Zavod plant announced. From 2008, he's acted as Russia's chief military representative to NATO, BBC reported. Russia is starting to get very... It started to talk of Russian commentators have started to talk about Russian citizens who've left the country because they didn't want to be called up into the army. They're traitors now, and they're talking about confiscating their assets and that sort of thing. So it's quite possible that because he was involved with NATO, that won't highlight. Anyway, you get the idea. Because he must have links with NATO, he might have come under some suspicion from various authorities. Maslov's loss follows the sudden death of Alexander Buzakov, 65, a general director of Admiralty shipyards in St. Petersburg, in charge of building new submarines. I haven't heard of anything wrong with Russian submarines beyond the usual, so it's funny how they're all in military procurement in some way or another, though, isn't it? Well, we all know there's been vast corruption in Russia over this. That's why Putin is in such trouble now, or rather, that's why the Russian forces are in such trouble now. It's pretty obvious that Putin thought his army was in a lot better shape than it actually was, and that's because he wasn't being told the true state of things, obviously, because there was a lot of skimming going on. It says here, the FSB has formed an investigative group. The FSB is the Federal Security Bureau, or anyway, it's the successor to the KGB. Right, well, that's it. Pictured left, except you don't see this pictured because this is a page reader view. It says here Buzakov had been healthy the day before he died and nothing had been heard about Maslov's health problems before he died, said the channel. However, we don't know whether this is the result of I've got an itch here. Sorry, I can't mention the rest. All right. Well, yeah, that's about it. So we don't know whether it's, or maybe it's something to do with Putin being annoyed about corruption of various sorts, bribery, underfunding, that sort of thing. I doubt we'll ever know. But it's sort of interesting how many of these people are just keeling over of heart attacks or apparent heart attacks. The friend of the sausage magnate died of a heart attack in his room as well. The sausage magnate himself died of falling out of a window. We'll never know exactly what happened, but there's an awful lot of deaths going on in Russia right now, or among Russian citizens. And I thought, you know, if you're a sausage magnate or any other sort of Russian oligarch or controller, and you're eating sausages with the Tsar, then you better use a bloody long fork. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.